Hello to all of you. Welcome, all women, in our Bible study, Women of the Bible, a study for Christian women. And when I say it again, you all are invited. I don't care which kind of denomination you go through or you're a seeker. For me, it's important that you feel welcome. You are loved with an everlasting love. This is your Pastor Yeti. We start our second week of this Bible study. And today we're going to work with the name of Rebekah, securing the blessing. And the readings for this day is from Genesis 24, verses 1 to 27. I'm going to read it to you. Abraham was now very old, and the Lord had blessed him in every way. He said to the senior servant in his household, the one in charge of all that he had, "Put your hand under my thigh. I want you to swear by the Lord, the God of heaven and the God of earth, that you will not give a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites, among whom I am living, but will go to my country and my own relatives and get a wife for my son Isaac." The servant asked him, "What if the woman is unwilling to come back with me to this land? Shall I then take your son back to the country you came from?" "Make sure that you do not take my son back there," Abraham said. "The Lord, the God of heaven, who brought me out of my father's household and my native land, and who spoke to me and promised me on oath, saying, 'To your offspring I will give his land. He will send his angel before you, so that you can get a wife for my son from there. If the woman is unwilling to come back with you, then you will be released from this oath of mine. Only do not take my son back there.' So the servant put his hand under the thigh of his master Abraham and swore an oath to him concerning this matter. Then the servant left, taking with him 10 of his master's camels, loaded with all kinds of good things from his master. He set out for Aram Naharaim and made his way to the town of Nahor. He had the camels kneel down near the well outside the town. It was toward evening, the time the women go out to draw water. Then he prayed, 'Lord God of my master Abraham, make me successful today, and show kindness to my master Abraham. See, I am standing beside the spring, and the daughters of the town people are coming out to draw water. May it be that when I say to a young woman, "Please, let down your jar, that I may have a drink," and she says, "Drink, and I'll water your camels too. Let her be the one you have chosen for your servant Isaac. By this I will know that you have shown kindness to my master." Before he had finished praying, Rebekah came out with her jar on her shoulder. She was the daughter of Bethuel, son of Milcah, who was the wife of Abraham's brother Nahor. The woman was very beautiful, a virgin. No man had ever slept with her. She went down to the spring, filled her jar, and came up again. The servant hurried to meet her and said, "Please, give me a little water from your jar." "Drink, my lord," she said, and quickly lowered the jar to her hands and gave him a drink. After she had given him a drink, she said, "I'll draw water for your camels too, until they have had enough to drink. So she quickly emptied her jar into the trough, ran back to the well to draw more water, and drew enough for all his camels. Without saying a word, the man watched her closely to learn whether or not the Lord had made his journey successful. When the camels had finished drinking, the man took out a gold nose ring weighing a Rebekah and 2 gold bracelets weighing 10 shekels. Then he asked, "Whose daughter are you? Please tell me, is there room in your father's house for us to spend the night?" She answered him, "I am the daughter of Bethuel, the son that Milcah bore to Nahor." And she added, "We have plenty of straw and fodder, as well as room for you to spend the night." Then the man bowed down and worshipped the Lord, saying, "Praise be the Lord God, the God of my master Abraham, who has not abandoned his kindness and faithfulness to my master. As for me, the Lord has led me on the journey to the house of my master's relatives." Rebekah's story begins soon after Sarah's ends, and it starts from an interesting perspective, as she unknowingly answers a prayer from Abraham's emissary. Her act of kindness changes her life, signaling she is destined to be the bride of Isaac, the son of Abraham and Sarah. Rebekah and Isaac are married, and Rebekah becomes pregnant. God tells expectant Rebekah the destinies of her 2 sons, Jacob and Esau. Her strong faith in what God tells her is in stark contrast to the wavering faith of Sarah from the last week's scriptures. We see in Rebekah many traits we can aspire to. She's strong in her faith, hardworking, true to her word, modest, and proactive. These characteristics serve her and her family well, until a defining moment involving Isaac, when she chooses deceit over prayer. We learn from Rebekah that despite our best qualities, we can be lured into the false belief that it is our responsibility to fix something instead of bringing our concerns to God. Had Rebekah simply let God's will unfold rather than relying on trickery to soothe her doubts, she may not have been separated from her favorite son, Jacob, for the rest of her life. There is much wisdom to learn from Rebekah's strengths and weaknesses. So, our first day starts with prayer in action. As you listened to already, I read the scriptures to you. Isaac is around 40 years old and needs a wife. Abraham does not want his son to marry a local Canaanite woman, and he cannot allow Isaac to return to his clan. Instead, Abraham sends his servant to the city of Nahor with strict orders to bring back a wife for Isaac. Abraham has faith that God has already selected a wife. And when the servant arrives outside Nahor, he prays for specific signs to help him find the chosen woman. Everything is put in God's hands. We see prayer in action as Rebekah's offer of water for Abraham's servant and his camels answers the servant's prayer request. Rebekah's generosity, as she often offers her home to the stranger and his helpers, shown us that God looks at the hearts of people. He must have seen the kindness in her character and considered it in choosing her to join Abraham's family. Almost immediately After Rebekah offers water, she is rewarded in the form of gifts from Abraham's servant. But there will be greater rewards to come. So this is your reflection. When was the last time a stranger asked for your help, even in a minor way? How did you respond? Have you ever regretted helping a stranger in need? And another one. Abraham has faith that a wife was already selected for Isaac, but he also takes actions to find her, rather than expecting God to deliver her to his door. In your own life, how do you know when to take action and when to leave the results to God? So, this is your first day, and we walk with Rebekah as we walk with our own lives. So reflect on these two things that I gave you. It's interesting how we can reflect on prayer. We can pray, and prayer is a very strong instrument to use. But prayer needs action. I always say it will not fall from heaven down onto your lap. You need actions. And actions means that you're longing for something. You desire for something. You're waiting for something. And waiting doesn't mean that you just stay on the same spot and stay there till the answer is, the prayer is answered. No. You walk by faith. You live your life and in your relationship with Jesus. And it's interesting how God answers prayers. Very interesting. So my dear ones, I encourage you to go back over the scriptures, to pray over it, to listen again to what you just heard about Rebekah, and to reflect it on your own personal life. May God bless you and protect you. May He keep you from all harm, and may the Lord shine upon your head. And be safe. God bless. Enjoy your day, whatever time frame you are. And may the peace of God be with you and stays with you. This is your Pastor Yeti. Bye-bye.